On this episode, we get the van rolling.
It all tastes like chicken.
Welcome back, my YouTube family. And if you're new here, welcome aboard. If you could, go ahead and click like and subscribe, the little clickety clacks. We can get this going. On the last episode, we got the van running, which was awesome. This thing ain't ran since 1952. It's just a simple LS6 that I had built. It's an LS1, LS6 heads. Camshaft's a little bit more profile, different than an LS6 cam, 400 horse. What do I need more than that in this van? My goal in this van is to actually drive to shows, to camp, to do whatever I want to do and make it reliable. With the Aces EFI that's on there, it's running good to a point. It has to learn yet. And to learn, it has to get to a certain temperature. Then it goes ahead and starts to program, and it starts to learn what it needs to do. To do that, I have to address this cooling issue. And another part of the thing I want to do is the exhaust. I don't like letting cars learn without an exhaust system on it. It needs the back pressure, it needs the cooling to stay cool down. So what I did on the front of this, because people have been asking, is this radiator you see here, I got from Summit. And it's gonna keep it cool. But the trick of it was I had to do some research. And I found out that the 1967 Ford Mustang radiator fits because it's the same identical diameter. That's a huge plus because this comes in a 4-core. Now the 4-core radiator is not going to be the only thing that helps you keep cool. When I'm on power tour, I get a lot of people that come up and say, man, my car's running super hot or it's overheating. What do I do? And I walk up and I look, and one of the things I see is they take an electric fan and they just mount it straight to the radiator. That's wrong. It doesn't work that way. They put it on the front, you don't. If it's on the front, you need to work on it. But if it's in the back, that's where you want it, because you want it to pull, okay? You want it to pull air through your radiator, especially when you're just sitting. I'm not going out and beating this van up like I want to. And most of my cars, when we go around the shows, we just chuggy and we just chill. But if I'm sitting in traffic, I don't want to overheat. And I found out if you get the right fan, you won't overheat. This fan that I have in here now is from FlexLight. It is, honest to God, my dog. This thing is a 3000 CFM fan. They call it the Low Boy. We've had it on the show. We use it on a bunch of the vehicles on the show. I use it on my own stuff. And 3000 CFM of air pulling through the radiator as you're sitting solid cools down quick. But the trick that has got to be done that a lot of people don't do is a shroud. What a shroud is like a funnel. You put it on the radiator, put your fan on there, and then all the air comes in and goes through the fan. That's why you just don't put a fan right on the radiator, because that's only pulling in this area. We need to pull it all the way out. Summit has a deal. When you look on it, it says recommended parts. They had a shroud, but the fan they had on it was like 1700. I ain't about that. The more CFM you get, the better you are to get more air movement on there. Setting this up like this means that I can let this thing run. And if I let it run, then it can start to learn because it can get to temperature. I'm not going to do that yet because I have to do the exhaust. Why? Well, I don't like setting tunes up or anything learning without the right back pressure it's going to have. So today, this week, whatever we doing, we're going to go ahead, we're going to start doing the exhaust. Fan and all that stuff's taken care of on this way. I'm going to climb underneath there. Exhaust. I got new tires I want to put on it because they just wasn't wide enough. I need to address the suspension area like this. So hopefully when this is all said and done, we can turn this vehicle on, let it start, and let it start learning. But then when it's done learning, we can set it on the ground, put it in gear, and drive. That's the big check mark. That's the big one. I want to drive this thing bad, and we're getting there. Slow steps win the race of the horses, or something they say. So I'm going to go ahead and start climbing in underneath here and start to figure out the exhaust system, and then I'll show you the pieces I'm going to use for the exhaust, because there's something on there that is going to blow your mind, but it's faster than you. What can I say? This is going to be a killer exhaust. What we're going to do is, I wanted this thing to look like a toy. I did. I think it would be cool if we could build it to look like the Hot Wheels toy with a Pro Mod wing and zoomies. Everybody has zoomies. What you don't know about a zoomie is they're just going to stick out here, but I'm using most of the Black Widow kit. Now, I like Black Widow exhaust. They are loud. They sound amazing. But you can actually buy the mufflers and buy a kit that has all your pipe and all that. So you don't really have to do anything else. These are the Venom 250s. This is their quietest muffler. I have the Neighbor Haters on the Murata. I got the Angry Housewives on the 60. And driving this around, I am not gonna be able to handle that loud. Now, I brought up the Zoomies. Let me show you something. See this? This is a real Zoomie. Only 99.987625% of people in the world have been faster than these Zoomies. This means so much to me because this Zoomie came off of my good buddy Clay Milliken's Top Fuel car, one of his cars. Yes, this is a Top Fuel Zoomie. And we're gonna use it as a tip. So my goal is to make it come out right here. And then as we're sitting, it'll have the exhaust coming through it. But I don't care, it's from Clay's car. Like, where else are you gonna do this? So I'm gonna have Top Fuel Zoomies that'll be right here, located in this position, coming out, coming from basically the headers to the Black Widow exhaust, and it's just gonna be choppity chop. It's gonna sound like a Corvette through Top Fuel Zoomies. Told you my headers or my exhaust is faster than you. Don't hate. Don't hate. So I'm gonna get underneath here, start measuring. I gotta figure this placement out first because I gotta build some sort of way of mounting it, putting a box on it, and then getting that to that. Yeah. Okay, you gotta see this. This is gonna be insane. If you catch my idea, you get it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mount this tip here. Now it's rusted, which is great. The floor actually comes all the way out here, so I don't really have to worry about this strength area back here. So I'll be able to cut it out, but I want to watch. You'll see. You'll catch it in a minute. Slow down, slow down. Slow down. Okay, hold up. Go forward just a little bit. Go forward just a little bit. Love me. Love me. That's where I want you, right there. Yeah. So what I'm gonna have to do is, you see how these pipes are hanging? The way I have this set up is this thing's like this far off the ground. So I'm gonna have to notch it 3 inches or whatever it is. That'll bring this Zoomie up into here. So I need to mark this, trim that bottom lip out, then put it back up in there. After I get that mounted, then I can figure out the placement on how to mount this and to connect the Top Fuel Zoomie into the Top Fuel van. Yeah. Okay, I got it roughed in. I like it. I just got to clean it up, and as soon as I get that all cleaned up, then I'm gonna go ahead and make a template, and I can do the other side. Your first side's always the one that kicks your butt because you don't have a clue on what you're gonna do. But now that I know where I want it to cut, how I want it to fit, I think it's gonna look pretty bitchin'. Like I said, I'll make a template, go on the other side and do that. And then I need to clean up this whole area because I need to get these wheels and tires off and show you that goodness. Okay, I got the other side all trimmed out. It looks pretty good. I got to do some reinforcement and stuff, which I'll get to on that. But I hit a snag. I got no metal. So I need to get up in the morning, go get some metal so I can make the box that holds that. So I thought I had some stuff here, but I don't. So I ended up taking the wheels and tires off. Now, the tire that was on it before was a Mickey Thompson 2812-15 because there's 1512s on the back. And that's a pretty big tire. But if you know anything about me, you know that I am a child of Pro Street. And Pro Street is this era that if I never would have seen Pro Street, I don't think that I ever would have started building cars. Living in Southern Illinois, we had a show called Street Machine Nationals at Du Quoin that most of the Pro Street guys legit built cars to debut there. And a Pro Streeter is you just put the biggest tire you can underneath the back of that thing so it tucks. It's kind of overkill sometimes because of the size of vehicles can be too small and you can have a tire that's too big. My Murata is Pro Street and I dedicated that to 1992 because that's a very influential era for me. And that's got a 33-22 15, that's 22 inches wide, 33 tall. So I had to go bigger in this. You just saw the exhaust. The Zoomy pipes are like that big, so I can't just make it look normal. So I ended up getting, I'll just show you, you understand. That is what was on it. That is a 1512 with a 2812. And what I ended up doing, let me roll this baby out of the way. That is a 2915. You realize how wide that is? Yeah. So I'm going to cram those on the back. And I got plenty of room because when we did the back, I actually did a 9-inch Ford back there with 4-link Panhard bar. Tubs are wide enough to fit everything inside of it. It has Hydra-Shock suspension in it. It's got a quick performance 9-inch in the back of there with disc brakes. It's a bad dog, but the tire, you got to see this. This is amazing. Like, this is going to change the whole attitude of this van to make it look like a toy. She's going to sit like that when we're laid out. We got our exhaust cut out here. She's going to look like that. But look at how wide that is underneath there. Do you get that? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to call it a day. Gonna head over to get the tires and stuff mounted tomorrow and then finish up the exhaust tomorrow, and then we can start working on the front suspension of this. I want this thing, I just want it to run, learn, and look badass right now.
The next day.
Got all the metal I needed, got the wheels and tires mounted. Now I'm gonna try to figure out how to mount these zoomies onto the van. Now we got the pocket made for it. And what a zoomie really is it's a 4-to-1, well, a 4-to-4, okay? So your header's like a 4-to-1. This is just straight off of each pipe. That's how like top fuel cars, race cars, they just try to get the exhaust out as fast as they can. And I'm not in the mood for that because we're just gonna have this as a tip. And the idea that I'm thinking is if I take a piece of 4x4 and mount this to it, this will then merge all of it to here. So otherwise, you would come out of the header to the muffler to this 4x4, and that 4x4 will hold this zoomie, and it'll just come out to zoomie. So my tip is still faster than you and me. I don't care. It's so cool. But there's going to be some more work involved that I ever have to do. Cool part is, you know, you guys have always sit there and asked me simple things like, what kind of tools do you use? What do you have in your shop? I'm a simple guy, always have been. I don't have billion-dollar lifts in my stuff. I don't use billion-dollar tools. I use what I have. My knee, I use to bend metal. I groove stuff. I cut stuff. Use an angle grinder, cut off wheel, whatever makes it work. So one of the bigger things that I am happy that I invested in so far is this table. Now it might not seem much to you, but when you're fabbing a lot or welding, it's always nice to have a decent table. And this one I actually got from Harbor Freight. It's cheap. It has fixture holes in it. So that means that I can use stuff like this to hold stuff in place and clamp it down so I can cut it better. I can weld with it, because when you're using a welder, you can take your welder and put your ground right on this metal table, and now you have a grounded situation that no matter what's touching it, when you're welding it, it works out perfect. I like it so much that I actually bought another one so I can actually make this thing longer and have me this killer fab weld table that I don't have to worry about, and it's not breaking the bank. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting into getting this mounted and figure it out, because I really don't have a clue yet. All I know is I got metal, a cutter, and a welder, and away. You want to see something cool? So I drilled out all the holes that I needed to make it mount to this flange, and I wanted to tap them all. Well, this thing right here is just the best thing since Cheese Whiz with partly cloudy meatballs. These things are great. If you're not using really thick metal, you can actually use this. This is a drill tap. So it's a drill bit on one end, which is the perfect size for the tap itself, to 3/8. So you just drill it, take your time, pop out, come out, works perfect. So I'm going to try it out on this. Okay, so it'll mount. It's going to basically mount like this underneath the vehicle. I have to now trace out these pipes to cut the holes for it. And yeah, I don't know if it's going to work. We're going to find out. Now what I'm doing now is I made a template of the Zumi itself, and I transferred it onto this pipe. It doesn't have to be perfect. All I'm trying to do is make air go out of this pipe into the Zumi. So I mocked up to where the exhaust ports are, roughed them in basically, and now should be able to cut these out. They'll come in close contact to that port that's there. Put me a little RTV around it and good. So this is all like trial and error 95% of the time. You don't, I'm just trying to get this thing done. I want to hear it. I want it tuned. So yeah, let me get to working on that. Two, three, Go home. See? Holes. These holes will come close to these holes. All this for a glorified tip. That's gonna be cool. I still gotta make another one of these yet. So the ideas are going. Now what'll happen is I'll cap off one end. I need to put this underneath the van, set it into the position where it is. Because what I'd like to do is be able to come in through the front of this 4-inch pipe with a 2.5-inch pipe that should go snake out into the muffler, back up in there. That's what I'm hoping. If not, then I have to go into the side of this and figure out where I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna clean this up a little bit and then go over there. Zumi fits underneath there great. This 4x4 is gonna work out great. I gotta do a little trimming right here. After I do the trimming, then it'll fit closer to where I want it to fit. I have an issue. So your exhaust comes out of your engine, goes to a pipe, and goes from your header to your pipe to your muffler. Well, it shakes. Okay, your engine's moving. This is going to be mounted solid, and you can't have that. You can't have this solid with this vibration. It just breaks stuff. So I need a flex joint, which you can see them. They look like flex pipe and stuff, and you can buy them. But I got the wrong size, so I'm kind of DOA. So what I need to do is finish up both the Zumis. I got to have them mounted. I need to order up the new flex pipes, but this is the dilemma. I leave and I'm not going to be here because I head back down to Georgia, and Newbern and I are doing some filming, and it's pretty epic what we're getting ready to do. So I'm not going to be here when that comes in. So what I can do, because I got to have this thing tuned before I leave. Like every step of this has got to get, so this get drive. So I'm going to go ahead, finish where the Zumis mount, finish how they mount, make their mounting stuff, and then go ahead and build my exhaust So all I have to worry about is going from point A to point B to hook up C and B and D's and get that part done when I get back. But the exhaust will still work. Get the wheels and tires on the rear, make sure all that's kosher, and then let's fire this thing and let it learn. I would have more of a peace of mind if that, I mean, I'm already bummed that I didn't get to drive this thing at the end of the month. But small progress, stuff forward. We all go through it. You got a big plan, you got it. If I'm staying focused on this, then I'll have it done. And honestly, you guys are the reason why I'm gonna get this done. Like, that's the truth. Is if I make the content for you guys and you guys are watching it, we're gonna be done with this. So I got a new goal in my head and want to have it done. It's still gonna be done in April. I want to drive it, but I'm gonna go ahead and start working on this box, getting it notched, getting the other one ready to go so I can get both these zoomies on, and then we'll finish up the exhaust underneath to a point. Yeah, you know. Okay, I got one more plate to weld up on this side here. Then this log will be done. The only thing that has to be done, I can't say it's going to be done. It'll be done for now until I figure out how to mount the exhaust to it. I'm going to finish welding this one up, then start on the other one, which you ain't going to see because this one's enough for you to see. And then I'll put it underneath the vehicle, finish up the exhaust on that end. Yeah. Done. I am so tired. Zoomies are on. Exhaust is on. It just ain't hooked up. Now I need to get the wheels and tires on. What else I got done? Yeah, these can go. That can go. That can go. That can go. I don't know. I am tired. I want to get this tire on so we can take a look at this. Because this makes me so happy. Like, it's Pro Street, baby. Look at that thing. It's gonna make this van look so much better. Oh, I am so old and tired right now, folks. Oh. This ain't gonna go on easy. It's my life. Nothing ever goes on easy. Nothing ever works easy. It just reminds you every day that the world hurts. Okay, let's go. Let me get this up here first. I'm not looking forward to this. Ow. How do I do this? I don't know. I don't care. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Okay. So the problem is the rear end's on the 4-link, it's down like this. So it pulled it forward. So I need to get it in, kahuha, back, and in. Okay, let's take a look and see what this thing looks like. We're close. Okay. How's it look? Oh, yeah. Look at that. That's gonna be perfect. You understand? This look like a toy. I'm happy I went with a bigger tire in the back. The zoomies are gonna look freaking phenomenal. Phenomenal. You understand that? I'm happy. day, couple days, week. I don't know. I'm just tired. Thank you for watching. This project is becoming really cool, especially since I'm sharing it with you guys, and I appreciate you guys hanging out. So if you could, if you disliked it, do me a likey, clicky, bell icons or whatever, and click like and subscribe. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this. We are getting this thing on the road. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick startup on it and then let it tune out. But here we go. It's gonna click. Thanks for watching.